This week on Jaywalking, I'm sitting down with Pat House. We just went to Alaska, did the Alaska Before You Die Comedy Festival, talking about our experiences in Alaska, talking about going up to the mountains of Denali, all the beautiful things we saw, and some airport etiquette for you all to enjoy. Please check out this episode, like, share, comment. See you next time. And we are back, and guess what? In the house is Pat House today. I'm so happy to have you here, my guy. How are you?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me.
So every time I have a guest, I always ask them if they remember where we first met. Do you remember where we first met?
I kind of want to say the hotel in Exton.
Oh, you better believe the hotel in Exton, because that's where dreams are made. No, the Exton Hotel, because that was the mic I was running for the Comedy Explosion guy.
Yes, and I lived about 7 minutes away.
That's because I was like, what? Your reputation obviously had always preceded you, because, you know, and I was newer in comedy, you start to see the people on social media that are like having the flyers or, you know, have the credits. And so to have you roll into a mic, I was like, oh, that was so cool.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was
for the
great.
most part.
Yeah.
There was you were guaranteed something crazy every mic. Like something crazy happened every single time, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Well, and it was just a fun comics hang.
That's what it was, because it was cool. Anytime there was a mic where I felt like either the comics hung out after, or they gave tags to each other, they did something, it was just productive, and it wasn't just people waiting for their time to go up.
Yeah, no, people were supportive and hanging out and like were actually paying attention and kept their heads out of their notebook, so you're not looking at like otherwise 10 heads down, selfishly looking down.
Yeah, and I always hoped that we would have got people from the hotel. We rarely did, but every once in a while there'd be a few that would wander in.
Yeah,
mostly because they were hoping the cereal bar was still open. But one of the hosts one time that took over for me I would see him eating cereal in the back of the room. I'm like, I don't think we're supposed to do that. Like I felt like we were going to get kicked out of there eventually, and we did. I don't remember why, but for some reason it kind of went away. But that was like a nice little Thursday mic, which
it was pretty cool.
I liked it. I missed it. So R.I.P. to Exton Mike. We missed you.
The Exton Hotel.
Yeah. But, and then we got to go from Exton all the way to Alaska, because that's actually what I wanted us to talk about today. Was you and I literally, I don't know, 24 hours ago we were in Alaska?
I just got back yesterday. So did you. So, yeah.
It was a while. So, and you were there for a little day, 10 days?
Like 11 or 12. 11 days in Alaska, but I flew to Seattle for half a day before. So I basically Alaska for 11 days.
Yeah.
I just took half a day. I broke up getting out there, yeah.
I loved it. I loved
every second. That was 10 times better than I thought all the way around.
The one surprise for me was just the ice. The amount. I felt like it was a trust fall with gravity every step I took.
It's wild to me that a city, like a full functional city, just did not take the ice off the roads or sidewalks.
And some streets would be bone dry, and others not at all, like 2 inches thick of ice.
Pretty crazy. Like, that's got to lead to some lawsuits downtown.
That's what I said. I'm in the wrong business. I want to be a personal injury lawyer in Anchorage, Alaska, because it was, and to me, it was just like,
and not just like sheets of ice, like nonstop. It was the entire length of the sidewalk or street.
Yeah.
It wasn't
handicap spots. You go to any restaurant, we were parked in a handicap. I was parked on 4 inches of ice, and there was only ice until you got into the restaurant. I'm like, this is insane. Like, nobody's gonna get out.
Pretty crazy. Because I had landed. And then I put my stuff in my hotel room, and I'm like, oh, I'm taking a walk. I'm in Alaska. And I walked the neighborhood, and I was like, oh, okay. And it was a very, very cautious walk.
I tried to take the girls. I tried to take the girls. There was a park. That was part of the Airbnb we got, said, oh, there's a park across the street. But to get to the street, you had to walk on pure ice. I mean, I watched a neighbor almost biff, like, walking her dog. And we just had to, like, march of the penguins, and it definitely took way longer than it needed to. Yeah. And then you get to the park, and
deliberate footsteps.
There was and there was no way to get to the actual jungle gym on the playground. So I was like, oh well, this is a waste.
So I opened up my laptop and I zoomed in on the map, and I'm like, oh, I want to check out this park and check out this lake. It's all frozen. I thought it would be cool to see. I mean, it was beautiful. Saw a lot of gorgeous scenery, but like within the vicinity of where you and I stayed, I was like, oh, check out that park. You can't.
No, and I didn't really.
Oh, this whole thing's frozen over.
The cool part, we did find a couple parks that were like and the whole thing was like ice skating, which was cool. So like they had like ponds there, and there was like one dedicated to hockey with some nets up, one like things you wouldn't see around here at a party. Like they'll put a pop up like ice skating rink every once in a while in Love Park or something like that.
Yeah.
But like to see them just using the natural resources, like they're frozen over, so we're going to use this as ice skating.
Yeah.
And there were always people skating when we were there.
When I went dog sledding the one day, it was over a pond. She's like, "You're not going to believe where we're not in a field.
Yeah.
We're on a body of water."
That's wild.
It was pretty crazy, and we did a 6-mile trek.
How do they know that it's like? I mean, I guess there's.
I think if they start freezing there so early that like they know after months and months and months of being frozen over, like it's solid.
It's solid.
Yeah, it was just so different to like learn a lot, like and just like experience so much daylight. It's not 24 hours, but like that sun hung out till like 10:30.
Yeah, it did.
It was pretty cool to just see a whole different, not culture, but whole different climate, whole different area.
Well, we came out of that one show. We went down to that broken blender place in the basement. I remember coming up to grab a drink at the bar, and it was the light it still caught us off guard.
I know. Yeah.
Because it was late. I've been in like Madrid in the summers and stuff like that, and sometimes in there you'll get light till 10 o'clock at night. But yeah, it is. I could tell that our Airbnb was kind of specially designed with like the blinds were like going to cancel sunlight.
Yeah, because it's not even the cusp on their bright season yet, where it's almost 24 hours a day basically.
I couldn't imagine. Could you imagine just all day? It's 24 hours. You're like 3 a.m. and you're like, oh, it looks like it's 2 in the afternoon.
I would love to see that for like 48 hours, and I would love 48 hours of darkness. I think it would be cool to just experience once for 2 days.
Yeah, just to see. It shocked me, and then I didn't realize how small Alaska was. Like it was like 700,000 in the whole state. I thought she was just talking about Anchorage.
Really spread out.
Yeah, because it's
really spread out,
and it's just like one major city, and then the rest is just National Geographic. It's just like
I mean, yeah,
and everything's a postcard.
And I learned there's not that many highways. Like driving, there's only a couple major highways, and the rest is just open land.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to like learn that, because you think like we probably have more highways in Pennsylvania than they do in Alaska, just because it's so remote and only 2 or 3 highways go through the entire state.
And they love Wendy's. I found out there were a lot of Wendy's.
Wendy's and Arby's everywhere.
Yeah, Wendy's
everywhere.
It was. I was waiting to see like a Sizzler, a Blockbuster, and a Radio Shack.
Oh my God, I would have loved that. I would have absolutely loved that.
We went to Puerto Rico in December, and there were a lot of like Ponderosas.
I was just gonna say the last time I was in the Caribbean, I saw a Ponderosa, and I couldn't believe it.
No,
didn't even know they were still in business.
I was waiting. The biggest thing I think I was waiting for was my daughters were looking forward to was the Northern Lights. Mm-hmm. And I kept hearing lore the whole time we were there. Oh, it's not good enough. Oh, check this app. Every local had a different opinion on where to go, whether it was visible. And most of the people I talked to were like, you're not going to see it. If you see it, it's going to be like 4 a.m. And I'm like, well, I'm not trekking my daughters out at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll see it. And then finally, I run into this guy at Coots at the festival there, and he says he's a guy who runs them. He's like, oh, tonight, tomorrow night, and he's like, I'm going to give you this GPS. Do not share it. Like he bound me to secrecy. I had to do like a pinky promise, and like
blood oath.
He sent it to me. We drive out the hour to this place, middle of nowhere, and we drove up and boom, there it was, and it was gorgeous. And I remember I sent a photo to you, and then like literally 2 minutes later, everybody in the Facebook group at the festival was like, "Oh, we're on Coots' roof, we're seeing it right now." And I'm like, I just drove an hour.
You drove an hour away. I saw it from my hotel parking lot, and I was in bed 8 minutes later.
And I drove back, and
you probably had a little bit of a more clear view.
Yes,
but I mean, what I saw was pretty prevalent. Vivid.
When we parked at the Airbnb at the end of that, and I looked up, there it was. Now, I will say, it was dancing and vibrating colors in the middle.
Which, that was the second time seeing them. I never seen the dancing before. It was like green with a pink trim, and it was just nonstop movement. It was really, really
and it was almost like
cool.
One of those like decoder things, because like when you brought your like phone up in the night view, even just to look at it, not even to record, like it just made everything pop.
Yeah,
like all the colors.
The pink trim really like impressed me.
It was
and it was like
cool.
Dancing. It was like fluttering like a tissue in the wind. It was really cool.
That part, and like we had my wife brought a bunch of blankets, and the girls were kind of on the ground, so like it was cool for them to kind of just sit under the stars. We gave Alicia the video and she was recording and she was like narrating. She's like, "This is so beautiful." It was like so adorable hearing
That's
her,
awesome.
So I feel like those kind of things for me made it worth it because I was like, okay, I wouldn't, she got to experience that. We were in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't like we were in a neighborhood, so it was definitely worth it. But like that was the one piece that I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, that was cool. I got out of bed. I was already in bed, and then somebody put in the festival Facebook group, the Northern Lights are visible. So I'm like, I got to get up. Yeah. I can't not. I was so comfy, but I was like, I can't not see this.
This is the worst. So the comics are just like, yeah, we can't be in bed. Comics after 40 are like, yeah, we want the early show.
For real. And I got out of bed, and it was really cool. I'm glad I did. And then I got right back in bed.
Yeah, we should talk about Coots for a second because you and Dwayne really amped it up that first lunch we had.
Yeah, we were there like a day or two before you and had hung out there and did a show or two already.
How would you describe Coots in a sentence or two if you had to?
Coots is an Alaska staple. Just a insane dive bar of epic proportions.
It's true.
Probably not OSHA approved.
No, definitely not.
Probably hasn't had like any sort of.
There hasn't been a health inspector in there. For
any
a long
sort
time.
of
but fun.
But fun. Just it's 7 or 8 different bars in one spot. Most of them different themed. Some live music stages, live entertainment stages. But just also, I love all the really cool shit on the walls. Like a lot of comics did stand up there, and apparently Mitch Hedberg shot a pilot there. Like Doug Stanhope performed there. All the comedians over the years that performed there came through, and even the bands that performed there. Like I really enjoyed seeing all the old history stuff on the walls.
Yeah,
Murray Langston. They had a Murray Langston headshot autograph on the wall. He was the unknown comic that wore a bag over his head.
Oh,
he performed there. It was really cool.
I saw some of those posters in the green room too. It was like going through like Epcot or Disney. Like you just walk around, you become in a different world. You're in fantasy world. Like next thing you know, you're in this Russian bar with this like Russian hallway, and then you go downstairs and it's something called the Ice Bar, and then you're at the Swing Bar, which is like looked like just an old Western style bar.
Yeah,
there's stages everywhere. Yeah, it's definitely like
a cool multi-purpose venue. It's like a dive bar / rock club / entertainment venue.
And it had like a little patio. I mean, it was covered in ice, but out of the one you could see like the patio where it had like some kind of outdoor. I mean, just like, run down, but to a point where it's like, almost like when you buy the jeans that are ripped and faded on purpose.
Yes,
like,
of course. Yes.
It's like, we're going to leave it like this because it like adds character.
And like you wouldn't want it any other way. You're like, oh, this place is this way for a reason.
The skillet that you like soaks in the flavor of all that you cooked there. AKA their kitchen, which I did not eat from, but you did, right? Did you eat there once?
Yeah, I had the most burnt chicken fingers I've ever experienced, and I can't believe they were served to me. And I can't believe I ate them. I was starving. But like these things were like burnt, and I'm like, huh.
Were they expensive at least? Were they cheap?
I think 3 for $9, maybe $10.
That's right.
The pizza was okay. The reindeer hot dog was not.
They really like to serve reindeer. I had reindeer meatloaf up there.
Yeah, I saw you get that. That looked really good. That today I had the crab patty. That was really good.
Humpy's was
Humpy's.
Humpy's. That's another dive bar, but great food.
Yeah, no, I think they're known for their food too.
Salmon chowder. We went back with my family. I ran into there too. And
I
loved it.
I went there I went to Humpy's a couple times for food, and 49th State Brewing. They were my favorite.
49th
I went there 4 times.
I'm sad because we passed it in the airport, and I thought we were going to go there, but it was before security, and I didn't want to risk it.
There was one after.
Was there really?
I went to the one after, yeah. Yeah, the one after was a lot bigger.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I wish, because the only one.
But yeah, they also had a Starbucks before security too.
There was,
and I was like, do I get it now or do I wait? Or
yeah, there was a terminal. I didn't see. The only one we had was in B terminal, and it was just the one that had the reindeer chili.
Mm-hmm.
And
I didn't have that.
Oh, and now that I think about it, I ordered that as my side, and it didn't come. I'm going back to find out what happened. He gave me. I just thought about that. I'm like, I thought I ordered the reindeer chili. I ordered it as a side. I didn't
Never got it.
I didn't get it.
Oh,
I'm going
man.
back to Alaska to get that in retrospect, I'm about to be on a plane for 12 hours. I probably don't want to be eating reindeer chili.
No, I regretfully had P.F. Chang's in the Seattle airport at 10 o'clock at night. And I got on the plane so full. And I like wasn't worried about shitting myself or anything. I was just like so uncomfortable. Like I finished everything. I was starving. So I did that like starving to beyond full. It's like I'm sitting down for the next 5 hours. Why did I do that? And I remember being fidgety in my seat just because I was so full.
Yeah.
I was like, you're an idiot. Like you know better than this.
When we got the reindeer thing with lunch there, it was like so filling that I took half of it home. And then one day we were out and it was a different restaurant that had reindeer meatloaf. And I was like, oh, I'm getting it. But that time I went for the whole time and I felt like terrible the rest of the day. You're just too full. Like,
I forgot to get the reindeer meatloaf at Humpy's. So I really wanted to. You got it. It looked really good.
It was well seasoned. It had like nice texture on it. The gravy was awesome for the fries.
I went heavy on seafood, obviously. I mean, they're known for seafood.
Every time they had like chowder or a salmon, like I got that. My wife got the halibut like nuggets that they had there, the fish and chips or whatever that were really fluffy, like very different than like a cod kind of one. But
yeah, cod's typically the go-to with the fish and chips, but they really like their halibut up there. I got halibut tacos at 49th State Brewing, and they were phenomenal.
I went yak burger.
I went with that the one day. The yak burger was no joke though, man. That was really good.
It was good. It was so good. Yeah, and I had a somewhere else we were in the middle of nowhere on the way back from the nature reserve, and there was a dive restaurant called 5 Chair or whatever, and the chairs were like so heavy, like you could not lift these chairs. And I'm like, dude, these chairs are heavy. He's like, yeah, it helps with the bar fights. They can't.
That's so
they
awesome.
become like Thor's hammer to these drunk guys.
That's so awesome.
But
they occur so regularly that
they're like, we're gonna make sure that these chairs are not breaking.
Me and Dwayne drove through Moose Pass, Alaska. And I wish I had got a sign of this. It was like a town where there's like one general store, for some reason still a library and a school, but like one general store.
But no kids. There are no kids.
I mean, I don't know where these people live, but it was like we stopped in the general store, and then the bar across the street said open Friday and Saturday 4 to 9. Like, I love the idea of a bar that's just open 10 hours a week.
Yep, that's it.
They don't have enough business to stay open 5 days a week or all day, but just 4 to 9, Friday and Saturday, you know where to be.
You know where to. I'm sure the whole town, all 7
probably.
Of them go there.
The same bartender been there for 65
they each
years.
Just have their own mug.
Probably. BYO, it's still a BYO.
They just buy their own liquor and keep it there, and then they come back and they each have their own little nook.
It was crazy to drive through some of the. I drove through Talkeetna.
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
I saw it on a.
I have to look it up on my phone.
Yeah,
that was like one bar, a general store, a pizza place, 3 gift shops, and that's downtown.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's
really. I don't mean backwoods as like an insult here, but so backwoodsy, where off the grid. And this is like downtown.
Yeah.
Like their population's probably like, I don't know, 100 people max.
That's how I know I'm like too much in the grid, because I was getting so annoyed with how slow the internet was on my phone. But only for a lot of times it was because Google Maps. Like if I was trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I had to be on somebody's Wi-Fi connect and get the map, and then I could go out to my car. Because if I waited till I got my car, it took forever for it to actually start up. And I was just like, that was the part that, like, I was starting to, like, I love the views, I love the beauty, but I want the power of the internet.
I know.
Like, that's the trade-off. I really believe that's the trade-off. You're going to have, like, these beautiful views, this, like, quieter way of life. You're not going to have all this riffraff, but you're going to have tons of ice and no cell phone coverage.
And it's a toss-up.
It is. I always said when I retired from teaching that I was going to burn all the clocks in my house because I never wanted to be dictated by time anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't want to, like, timing when I go to the bathroom or the 23 minutes I got for lunch or any of that nonsense. And I believe, like, I would love to have. I had an uncle who had, like, a cabin in the woods up in upstate, and it was great. But I think there's something to that. I love the simpleness of that. You know?
Yeah, me too. I went into the mountains for like 2.5 days, and like mountains. I stayed in Cantwell, which had a gas station, and the lodge I stayed in. But the next town, Healy, was I think 37 miles up.
Yeah,
and like. I really enjoyed the cabin. I saw wildlife and animals, and the mountains in the area were beautiful. But like after 4 microwavable meals and like bananas and Reese's peanut butter cups for breakfast, I was like, I need a city again. Like I loved the quietness and the solitude, but like I don't know, man.
I didn't know when you said you were going up there for however many days. I was like, God, good luck, man. Like one
It was 3. I pretty much bailed at 2.
Yeah, that was.
But it was awesome. But I mean, the guy when I checked into my lodge was like, closest food's 40 minutes away, and I was like, it'll be fine. And then like I bought some microwavable meals, and then I was like, this is not fine.
This is not fine. Now did the room even have like a freezer? To put,
No. That's when I got the reservation for checking in, they say your room has a freezer, a refrigerator, and a microwave, and we provide silverware, paper plates, and silverware and everything. But it's on you to bring your own food.
Okay.
Now there was a gas station, so you could eat gas station food, but like I went fancy and went with microwavable meals from the supermarket,
really stepped it up
45 minutes away. Yeah. But that got old real quick.
I mean,
but it was still gorgeous. It was still like gorgeous.
Yeah.
And like super quiet, like a legit quiet you like rarely hear.
Yeah, that's even just when we went out for the Northern Lights that night, like how peaceful it was.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, aside from the fact that there's like bears and moose that would like tear me apart.
Yeah, I'm so mad. I wanted to see a bear out in the wild. Saw one at the conservatory. Yep. It was beautiful. It was cool. Those bears were chilling. I wanted to see a bear in the wild. Saw moose in the wild. Saw bald eagles. No bear.
Did you capture one of the signs that was like telling you how far away to be for bears versus moose?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what it was like, and bear it was like significantly. It was like 3 football.
Yeah,
fields.
Bears will charge. Moose aren't predatory, but if they feel threatened, they'll attack. But they're typically like relative
25 yards.
Yeah. So it was my first night in the mountains, and I had to slam my brakes to avoid hitting a moose, and that was pretty terrifying because they are massive. They are massive. This was pitch black out, and he ran right in front of my car like a dumb deer in Pennsylvania. And the speed limit was 65. I was probably doing 75. And the rest of the drive home, 45.
Could you imagine? Like
my heart was like racing.
You hit the deer, like you hit the moose, or like worse, your car stalls out and now it can't start, and now you're just stuck in the middle of nowhere. So I have no real skills. I can't do these tracks because I just don't. I'd have to YouTube it, but I can't because the internet doesn't work. So
I know. I feel like it would have been okay. I did pass a lot of tractor trailers. By the way, they have a different headlights than we do here. They have what they call moose lights. Their high beams are 1,000,000 times brighter than ours because of the moose that jump out on the highway. So I feel like if there was an emergency, I could have like waved somebody down. But also,
you would have thought you were a moose
because the Highway 3 is like just through Alaska for hundreds and hundreds of miles. I feel like there's state troopers everywhere. So like I feel like I wouldn't have died on the side of the road.
You wouldn't have died.
Help would have been. I probably could have got help easily.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But it was still wild. It was.
I mean,
it was also cool.
I thought it was cool. I mean, and then there was a controversy over the names, right? And the name of the mountain, was it Denali versus McKinley? Is that the...
Yeah. Which is so funny because I'm a big mountain guy. And like the natives have called Denali for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And then some white guy's like, McKinley. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Mount Rainier, some dude named after his French friend. The natives called it Tahoma for centuries. Thousands of it was called Fire Mountain 4,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And then some guy's like, Rainier, my French friend.
And these are good for GMC vehicles. They're good enough for mountains.
Yeah.
Okay. It was like, that's crazy.
That's crazy they just got that to stick.
Yeah.
Insane.
Gulf of America.
But I think the McKinley's not really official anymore. I think that was only rescinded a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's back to the original Denali.
Oh, okay, good. I heard a couple comics like allude to it, like trying to make a joke about it. But yeah, comedy in Alaska. How about that?
Comedy in Alaska. It was really cool to see and meet a lot of new comedians.
I will say, like, it was nice that because the festival ran 10 days or whatever. Like they had 49, like some obscene amount of shows. Like
a lot of shows every night. You really got to hang out, watch people, and bounce around.
And there were people at every show that were not just comics. Like, I've gone to festival where sometimes you're not sure how the shows are going to be attended. The Sunday shows, you're always certain the Friday, Saturdays, but Thursday, Sunday could be touch and go.
Yeah, we're 6 o'clock on Wednesday, which I had one of those. And at showtime, there was like nobody, but 10 minutes in, like 50 people showed up.
Yeah.
So it was
I really
pretty
didn't.
cool.
The one I was at the one that I can't. Like there was the one where I was like, I texted you. I'm like, dude, there's nobody here.
No, that was a different one. That was the week before.
The Gumbo House.
Yeah, the Gumbo House. That show ended up being a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that filled out.
My 6 p.m. Wednesday show was at the Anchorage Museum in the auditorium. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It just filled in after showtime started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I mean, I guess whether it was the advertising or just people, it was nice to see so many people at shows. I mean, I even did a coffee on my last day. It was a 1:00 coffee shop on Saturday, and it was like there were a good amount of people there, families, young kids. Like, I felt like it was weird. It's always hard when it's like they say it's a clean show because the comics have a different idea of that. And I think the families who were bringing their kids had a different idea of what it was going to be.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part because I think clean is such an ambiguous word where you're like, hey, I didn't say the F word, I'm clean. Versus, like, I don't think there were many acts, and I was grateful that I'd been trying to get into this myself, but I don't think there were many acts that were able to just engage something that I think the kids would have laughed at versus, well, that man's talking and saying a bunch of stuff I don't have a reference for. So it's I think it's hard to do comedy for kids, like get kids to laugh.
My 6 p.m. show had a 12-year-old in the crowd, I think, and some of the comics were like, "What do we do?" I'm like, "I'm doing exactly what I always do. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm not catering my act to one person in the room.
Exactly.
Take your kid out."
Yeah, that's right.
I've had kids in the crowd before on shows that weren't advertised as like kid friendly or PG or clean. So it's like I'm not changing anything.
Well,
because the kid's here.
No, and I pointed. I had recently one. Usually, if I'm hosting the show, I feel obligated to like say something or poke it out. And,
a couple people called the kid out, and I was like, "All right, you're the fourth comic in a row now."
Yeah,
like now.
Yeah, now it's a little bit, but just to get one and to tag it so everybody's, especially the other comics, are like aware. But like at the other time too, I think you're right. If it's a show where it's not like advertised as being clean, and you bring a kid, then you do so at your own risk.
For sure.
Like, I usually be like, oh, and give it up for bad parenting decisions.
Yeah. There's always something to be said.
It's just something about. But I've had my sister-in-law was saying like she wanted my nephew to come to a show, but he's 12. Same thing.
12, you're not an adult, but you're not a kid either.
Yeah, I'm like, don't bring him to the open mic. Whatever you do, don't bring him.
Oh, that'd be the worst. But you hear the worst of the worst at one of those.
That's the worst. Like I was like, I'll pick a show. I still got to get back to around like a show. I feel like
there's got to be something on your calendar there's something totally
there.
acceptable.
Because there's a lot of even through Joel's that'll come through that are like pretty clean. Like Greg Warren's coming soon enough.
Absolutely, I love
Jason
Greg.
Salmon. Like there's a plenty of them that are like really funny comics and just happen to be clean.
Yeah. Or just not like filthy. Like like you just said, like I didn't say the F word, but like you can still curse a little bit or have innuendo or something, and it's not like full of filth.
No,
where it's like vulgar.
Because I'll even throw in a curse word here and there. I do it when I'm at like an in city like young crowd, and I feel like I need to use it to be like hipper. So I notice whenever I listen back to my sets,
city crowd need to be hip.
And
Could you phrase that any older?
I know. I just start cursing so much, and I'm like, why are you doing this? I'm like, I want to be cool for the cool kids. And then I did that show, and then I got a $300 parking ticket because I parked in that handicap spot.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that.
$300. That was
it's a hefty one.
That was a hefty one. Yeah. I'm so nervous about parking now. I'm like paying parking everywhere all the time. Even if it tells me it doesn't want it, I just tape it to the meter. I'm like, no, you're getting this money. I don't care. Phoenixville got me. Yeah, I get all the time. I mean, some of these ones, the signs make it so hard to know
when there's like 5 on one pole,
and you can't just be like, well, I thought it was this. Like, no, the PPA doesn't care.
No, not at all.
Like, I had my car towed once when I did like a next in line show down there, and it was like, I swore it was fine. I don't know where it was the issue, but I had Uber to the place, paid the. I've had bad luck. I should get better.
Oh yeah, the tow, cash only.
Have you ever had your car towed?
Mm-hmm, couple times, yeah. Right. Yeah, it sucks.
Good. Yeah, good. I'm not alone. It makes me feel better.
No, yeah, it's happened twice that I can recall, and it just sucks both times.
I mean, Alaska driving. I was nervous about driving in Alaska because we got a rental car.
Their winter roads are better than ours here.
Yeah,
their highways were impeccable. Because they probably have to take care of them like every day up there.
And I was worried about slipping around on all the ice on the side roads, but like for the most part, I didn't have any issues.
No, me neither.
I was nervous. I got the extra like insurance.
As did I.
Just because, and I'm glad because I just did not realize just how much ice I'd be driving on.
The highways were completely spotless.
Yeah,
all of them.
But every once in a while, one of the exit ramps wouldn't be, and you're like, oh man, how are you supposed to go from 60 to that
slide?
And you're just sliding through. I mean, in our Airbnb, like I said, the whole road was ice, so I was parked on ice all week carrying groceries, carrying my bags in all over ice. And by the end of it, our porch at our Airbnb finally had because there was a good amount of
it got warm during the day. It got warm. It was very comfortable. I mean, I thought it was fantastic for the most part.
I way overpacked.
As did I.
I really brought some extra layers, and I did not need. I should have been smarter. But
I mean, I'd never been there before, so I didn't know what to expect. Yeah. What if we arrived and it was like whiteout conditions? You know what I mean? Like
I packed it. I got a new jacket for the event. But it was kind of lightweight, but it had the reflective material to because that's what I wanted. I wanted something that was going to hold the heat in, but not be like super heavy. And it's great. So now I'm like, well, at least now I have a really good winter jacket now if I need it.
Yeah.
So, and that was great. So it was great. So the girls loved it. They were all bundled up every day, and they loved being at the playgrounds. Like any playground we could find where it was like at least carved out enough. Because I'm like, oh yeah, kids are out there. And I mean, it was a ton of kids, but there were kids out there because they're from here. And
they probably think that weather was glorious.
Yeah, they're like, this was great. Everybody was like, as everybody said, oh, you came during a warm up, and I'm like, it says 11 degrees on my car, man.
A lot of people told me they had a rough winter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we did in Philadelphia, but it's not central Alaska. Yeah. I'm trying to compare myself to them like an idiot.
Oh my God. I can't imagine. Even just the airports and all of that makes me nervous. Like just the amount of ice that was everywhere. Because then it melts and refreezes. And so I get how
it's like a daily struggle, yeah.
That they're just like, well, we're just going to deal with it. Just don't drive on that road.
I noticed the river, the Cook Inlet was near my hotel room. And my first couple days it was frozen, and then the second half of the trip was warmer, and I saw the water start to move. Yes. It was pretty cool that I saw this whole thing frozen over, and then when I happened to be there, it loosened up for stream movement. It was actually kind of cool. Yeah, because it was giant chunks of ice floating in this thing, massive, the size of trailers or mobile homes, just floating down.
I noticed on the Seward Highway when we went down to Seward for that.
I kept saying C-word.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You want to say it 'cause it sounds like it. I guess it was the guy's name.
Going down to C-word?
Yes.
I think it's Seward. I know, but I just think it's fun to say C-word.
It is fun to say C-word. So we went down early. It is clean.
That's clean.
That's clean. Went down to Seward, and it was earlier in the week, and then later in the week, the one stretch had it had broken up, and now you can see the looks like little ice islands moving around in it, which is kind of cool. And that whole stretch was beautiful. The scenic height, you just pull over, photo spots everywhere.
And it was like that way from Seward all the way to. I drove 5 hours north of Anchorage to Denali to Cantwell and Healy, and it was. Not so much water going south, but going north, just the mountains. The views were absolutely incredible. Every time you came around a bend, a bigger mountain was behind the mountains in front of you. And then you're like, oh my God, look at this mountains. And then you come around the bend on the right and something behind it's even bigger. And I'm I'm a mountain guy. So my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was crazy.
It was fun driving through it.
It was really cool.
Scenic.
I got so used to the same highways I was on and the neighborhood I was in. I felt like a total local. So I was there for 11 days with my car.
That's right.
I was fine, driving around Alaska. I know where I'm going.
Yeah, it was not hard to navigate, and everything was 8 minutes. Whenever I put it, it was everything was 8 minutes away. It was, and everybody was so nice. All the people that are either live there or have lived there for a while, super nice.
Yeah, they probably rely on tourism, especially in the summer. But I mean, it's not like the Caribbean where it's a fully tourist-based economy. Yeah. But I'm sure that cruise ships are a big, big deal to them, May through September.
That's true. I always hear about Alaskan cruises.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. I definitely would go back again for sure. I don't know if they're doing that. They say they might not do the festival again, but I would go.
She said there might be other things down the line.
Yeah, I would totally go.
Maybe
back
not a
there.
full. I would absolutely go back there.
I mean, it was great, and all the venues were fun. All the even the ones that. I liked the setup. I didn't like necessarily the walkway to the stage on that broken blender place, but I liked the setup of it. It was very.
It was like a tiny little black box theater type place. Yeah,
that one was a cool one. I was trying to think where else the stages at Coots and the different rooms were cool. The main stage was my favorite. That one felt most like a comedy club.
Which the main stage at Coots? Yeah. Yes.
I didn't mind the other one. It just was weird having that drop down. And
the laughter didn't quite carry as well there. I feel like I had one really good set in that room and one that wasn't so hot. So couldn't really tell.
Tell the difference. Yeah.
but I also love any place with like a pinball machine room.
Yeah. Oh,
Even though I didn't play that much, I should have, but I still appreciated a whole entire room dedicated to.
Have you ever done the Carlson up in Rochester?
No, I have not.
So if you ever do get up there, they have their play museum, and they just added like a $10 million extension on the history of toys. But in it is a full pinball room. Full room, just pinball machines, and then every arcade game like ever made.
Yeah, a lot of the Funny Bones have a draftcade next door.
So
Omaha, Toledo.
Toledo is the one
Richmond,
I did.
Kansas City. A lot of the Funny Bones have them. And I was in San Fran, and I always go to the Pinball Museum in Alameda. It's just really cool.
It's
old timey.
And the whole place is it's like they have the largest Donkey Kong game, so it looks like this giant, like you're playing on a big screen, but it's just it's so cool, and it's very interactive, and there's a museum portion of it. It's huge. It would take you like I did a weekend there once, and so I was able to go back like a couple days, and it was like the coolest. I felt guilty not having my kids with me that time because I was like, oh, they would have loved this. But like, yeah, the pinball room is like.
Yeah, I really like pinball and like skee ball and some of the old timeier games. So that was pretty.
There's a bar in Limerick. I think it's in Limerick called the Railroad. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It's right off of 422. Not far from Joel's, but maybe we'll have to go there sometime because they have a pinball room in the back.
Oh, cool.
Pinball. Yeah, probably almost about a dozen of them.
That's so cool.
And it's cool. It's a great little bar. They got some good food. They're known for their grilled cheeses. They have variations on grilled cheeses.
I mean, sign me up. Pinball and grilled cheese.
And then they have like 100 beers on tap or something ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
cool
never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's a cool little bar. You would it's like Linfield or Limerick right off. Yeah, it's a fun little place. So there's all these nuggets. We don't have to go to Alaska. All right, you can just use. There's mountains here. I'm sure. I don't know the name of them, but
bullshit ones though. Yeah, like nothing compared to.
Yeah, with the travel there and back is always like a pain in the butt. And the girls were. I wasn't just nervous.
Well, you had a rough travel go at it. I was very fortunate to and from. I had smooth, easy travel.
Yeah,
you had a 22-hour jaunt to get there.
It's a long one, and then we got there late. It was fine because then we just adjusted, and then I ended up having that show that first day I was there. We didn't really do much, and then after that we started like by Monday we were ready to start doing stuff. So so we had like a full Monday through Friday of like doing stuff once we kind of got our legs under us. But yeah, and then we ended it in a very Alaskan way. My daughters went and watched K-pop Demon Hunter while I did that show. There was a like kind of like a I guess movie tavern style where it's like a brew pub with a theater in it. So they were able to have lunch and then go watch K-pop Demon Hunter, and it got over exactly when my show ended. It was
perfect.
Perfect timing. Went and closed out of the Airbnb, and I didn't have any issues. I always hate Airbnb. I was nervous about Airbnbs, like they're gonna say something's wrong, or like the Airbnb was fine except the furniture was trash. Like they had these like tables and chair set that looked like it was made out of like a tree or something.
I think a lot of things in Alaska are made out of trees.
But like it wasn't. The chairs weren't even. Like if you hung a coat on it, it immediately flipped over. Like it was not well made. Like it was not sturdy. So two of them kind of looked weird. And it just wasn't. That was like the one seat I could sit in. Then it had like a long couch and like a recliner love seat thing that was like a rocker, but the rocker was rubbing up against something the whole time, so it like wasn't. And then the reclining part didn't work. The bunk bed that they had was like rickety, so if my girls were any bigger, I wouldn't have trusted them to get
Oh
it.
man!
So all the furniture that you were supposed to sit in and be comfortable in wasn't. The bed was okay. But like, so I'm grateful that we were out busy doing stuff, because when I was there, I'm like, oh, I'm either sitting in this hardwood chair, or I'm in this like crappy rocking recliner that doesn't work right. So like, that was my only beef with the Airbnb. And then they texted me yesterday, and they're like, hey, did you take any children's books? Apparently, they like thought my daughter stole some of their children's books from their like, and these children's books were like 3-year-old books. They were like Peter Rabbit stuff. Like, and I'm like, no, my daughter's reading like graphic novels, and I was like, they're not into like, that. I did check their bags just to see if like, because my daughter loves books, but I didn't even know that they had any books in there. So now this woman like thinks we jacked like
we're missing our Goodnight Moon.
And and I tried to be like overly like polite about it. I was just like, oh well, so their Girl Scout project is building little libraries, so we get a lot of books donated. Would you like me to send you some books? And I tried to like offer, and she's like, "Oh, the postage would be high." I'm like, "All right, well, I offered." So
You offered.
If that, I was just, I was so grave. I was worried like the chairs were gonna break while we were there or something stupid.
Yeah, she's worried about
some
Curious George.
She needs to buy some real furniture for that place because it's great. Everything else was great. It's just they need some real furniture. They need some just to be comfortable because if you're going to be there for a week, you need to it's not like a hotel room. You get the Airbnb because it's supposed to have some of those comforts.
I stayed at the Wild Birch Hotel in Anchorage and it was phenomenal. It was a really, really, really nice hotel.
Well, that was a good spot because everything's walkable.
Walkable, yeah. Coots wasn't, but everything else was.
Yeah,
but a ton of like restaurants were walkable and a bunch of cool stores downtown and a couple of the other venues where the shows were. And it was just really nice. I appreciate a nice hotel.
Dude, there's nothing like a good hotel.
Comfy bed, refrigerator, mountain view, water view.
That's all you need.
Yeah, for real.
No, I loved it. Yeah, I would definitely go back. I'd want a better flight plan because, like I said, I even think like Chicago to there would have been nice.
Yeah, at least Chicago.
You can't get a direct
because you went so far south.
Yeah, all the way to Texas.
I know. Because I saw that flight when I was doing my original research. But I flew to Seattle on American and then flew Alaskan to Anchorage. So I did 2 different airlines, which sucked coming home because I had to get my checked bag from Alaskan and then go through TSA for the second time that day under American. But it all didn't even take 20 minutes.
Okay.
But it was just a pain to go down to baggage claim after a flight, go through security again, recheck my bag, and then
because that's like what you have to do like if you're connecting in like international flights and you're like layover in France on your way to Spain or something.
Yeah,
that's trash.
But also, I had 2 easy travel days. I cannot complain. Yeah. I had 2 very
if
easy.
I'm traveling by myself, I'm like, whatever, I'll deal with it. It's just like because my wife and Katie had a baby right behind them on the 7-hour flight, and this baby just screamed.
I had some screamers on mine.
Yeah, so they were like already frazzled. I think they slept a little bit on the 3.5-hour flight from Texas, but we were all pretty like, don't talk to me was our general vibe.
When I flew home, essentially yesterday, I took a red eye from Seattle back home to Philly. I had the window seat, and I had a mother, like 50, and her teenage son next to me, and they just ate snacks all night, and like, I get it. I fucking love snacks. But I just heard wrappers, candy wrappers, and chips wrappers for hours. Every time I shut my eyes, I would just hear like shuffling, like they were wrapping presents. And the woman sitting right in front of me, it's an overnight flight, kept turning her light on. I'm like, it's 3:00 in the morning. What do you need? And why are you eating so many snacks at 3:00 in the morning? Like, everybody else is being quiet. It's dark.
I know. I was so nervous for my daughter with that because like she's the kind of person that's like is so erratic. I'm like, please. I'm always like I always almost wanted to get 3 and then have a 1 single just so we could like contain her because she's the kind of person I'll put she did sleep a little bit thankfully. And everybody who sat next to her was great, but she's that kind of person where she'll like either her vocal stems when she's reading and she's saying it out loud. I'm like the whole time I can't. If I have earphones, and I always have to do like one off towards her because she didn't have like earbuds on the one flight, and she kept trying to put her tablet on and put the volume on, and I'd like keep watching her and I'd be like, yep, turn the sound off. And I got her earbuds, and then she got them tangled in the seat when she went to the bathroom, and the one snapped off. And she wouldn't do it if they didn't have both. Even though the other one still wouldn't work, she would not abide by this. You just have to buy me new ones. I'm like, I just spent $25 at an airport for the cheapest ones.
For the cheapest ones, exactly.
And that's because I was like, God forbid she had the earbuds and like she dropped one. She'd be like under all the seats trying to find them, and I'm just like, oh no, like she could not complete the phrase. She could not until she found it. She would not have relented, and I'm just like, oh, like that's the piece with her that I'm like, I always like. Feel bad. I'm like, oh my God, something's gonna happen. But she was great. She did well. She slept on my shoulder for a good amount of it, and the whole ride with the family. And so now that I know they could travel, we've been on other countries. We've done a good amount of this country. I'm like, that makes me feel good about like future trips. So
I mean, going to Alaska's basically the way you and I went was further than Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, Europe, you at least land in your destination most likely, but you went to Dallas and then Anchorage. I went to Seattle, then Anchorage. That's a lot of extensive travel.
That's a lot. So yeah, so I was good. That experience I think is really cool because I was like, traveling with comedy is great, but like it gets lonely. So I was like, it'd be nice if I could travel with them. So now I know that they're road tested and ready. So I feel good about that for sure. What do you have coming up? You have any big shows coming up?
Coming up, I got Doylestown Comedy Cabaret, which is a great, fun room. I like it there a lot.
Above Poco's.
Yeah, above Poco's. I'm opening for my friend's band at Ardmore Music Hall that same weekend,
cool.
Modern Bliss. Then I go to Maine with Susan Rice, who's super funny. We have Portland and Kittery. And then still working on some summer stuff, but I know I'll have some pretty good things once they fall into place.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So you're moving and shaking.
Trying.
Little local, little on the road. Now, do you always fly with some of those, or do you ever drive? Do you ever
No, I'm driving to Maine on purpose because I'm driving Susan and I offered. So it's only, 7 to 8 hours. Yeah. It's really not bad at all.
Yeah, I was just up there. I did a couple shows with board teachers, Orono, and Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a big lobster roll up there.
I mean, I'm probably going to have like 4 a day up there.
So good.
I used to vacation in Maine. I used to go pretty much every summer, and it's just lobster rolls all time. I mean, all day.
Lobster roll. I had some good chowder. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll definitely hit the seafood hard again up there.
Yeah, that's a good call. I love good seafood, especially I just don't want to go to fast food. Wherever it is, just there's enough places, mom and pop.
Exactly. I mean, in a pinch, I'll find myself at like an Applebee's at 11 p.m. after a show and nothing else is open. Been there a million times in my career, but I mean, like, I couldn't believe all the fast food in Anchorage.
Yeah, it's a ton.
It's insane amount.
Yeah. And you would thought because there's so many great little places like the dumpling. Did you ever?
No, I didn't make it there. I had dumplings at Humpy's though, which were really good. It was like 3 different kinds of crab.
Oh yeah,
in there, yeah. But I never made it to that other.
Dumplings were so. I mean, it was like little. I'm from Northeast PA, and there's a lot of Polish like pierogi culture. Mm-hmm. This is the closest I've had to like a grandma's homemade pierogi.
No kidding.
A mini version of it, but like, yeah, it was so good, especially with the butter. If it had little onions on it. Oh.
And Corey Stewart was telling me her and her boyfriend went to a like a sushi place that's like in somebody's home.
I heard it was like just like a living room,
and like they only take 8 people at a time. And you have to make a reservation, and they had no idea. And they showed up, and they were like, "No, we can't even take you."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They tried that night. We saw them. Oh,
yeah, was that same night? Yeah,
because they were talking about
the same night. Oh yeah, the same night as your show in the hotel.
Yes, at the whale tail. Also, used to be a good underwear trend in the early aughts.
Yeah, for sure.
That's when I first started teaching, and they're like, move around the room. And I was teaching senior girls, and then you move to the back, and it was just like SeaWorld. It was just SeaWorld. Just whale tails. I'm just like, I'm not leaving the front of the room ever again. Yeah, I'm so glad that trend went to the wayside. Although they traded it in for like the yoga pants and all that stuff. I went to Catholic school. We weren't allowed to wear anything.
As did I. I did also, yeah.
It's bonkers to watch what these kids were wearing, coming in pajamas to school. And
even like what people wear when they fly. Like, there was a time where like men wore suits and a vest and a tie.
Yeah.
And women wore like dresses, and now people like get on planes and like they're like boobs are hanging out and they're in like pajama pants and like Crocs. I'm like, I get being comfy, but like I'm comfy in jeans and a t-shirt. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I definitely like jogging pants. I definitely am on the more
just
comfy
anything.
side.
I don't know.
And the shoes, I want them to be slip-on. Ever since they put us through that ringer of all the checks and stuff, I'm just like, less is more.
But even like, I don't know, some people like I don't even want to say like rolled out of bed. Looked like they like rolled out of a dumpster and got on the plane. Like, it's
that was were you flying Spirit? Is that what you were doing?
No, I flew American, but I mean, still just
Spirit. I flew Spirit once, and that was an experience. I was like,
I've never flown them.
They know who they are, and they love it. I appreciate them for that.
Did you have any issues with them?
No, but it was just funny to watch all the people like getting on,
like Vegas in the
sky. They're like wearing their layers of clothes because then if you had a carry on, it was like extra. It's like you could tell their pockets are filled with their toothpaste and deodorant.
Oh my god!
They're just getting on. I think the pilot tried to sit in 14B. It was a mess. I don't know what this place is. They're like the participation trophy of airlines. Like But I will say I got it booked for me when I was going down to do a podcast in Florida, and he's like, "Well, it's Spirit, but I got your first class." I'm like, "I didn't even know if Spirit had."
I didn't even know that either.
So basically, it was an old like chair from like a Delta first class plane or something it was like Grandpa's recliner in the front row. It was just two oversized seats that looked really old from an old plane.
That's so funny.
But it was a little bit more comfortable than theirs. Do you think the standing planes are going to be a thing? You've seen as on my algorithm is like every once in a while they're like,
I see a bunch of stuff, like the clear planes where the whole thing's a window.
yeah,
Like I've seen that. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. I would try the stand. If it was like a short flight, I would do the standing seat. If it was like one where like you're kind of able to sit a little, like, you know what I mean? There's like a little perch for your butt and you're kind of like upright or whatever. I would be down with that. I don't know. I'll try it. I'll try anything.
Short flight, like you said.
Yeah, it's got to be a short flight. Got to be a short flight. Well, so before we wrap up, is there anywhere people can find you if they want to?
At Bohemian Pet City, Bohemian Patsody. That's Instagram's the main one.
Yeah,
I guess Threads, but they're connected.
They're connected.
That's pretty much it.
Nobody goes to Threads. No.
I like Threads because a lot of comedians post written jokes on there, like Twitter when it first started, or like Facebook when it first started.
Really?
Like, and I've seen a lot of good comedian threads, a lot of good comedian chat.
Right, maybe I'm gonna have to check it out.
I like it. I really like it a lot.
All right.
A lot of good opinions, a lot of people chiming in, and it's still social media, so people are still, crazy. But Threads has a lot of interesting and cool comedy stuff on there.
All right, I'm gonna have to give Threads a try. You guys should give Threads a try. Thanks for checking out Jaywalking, and we'll see you next week.
No.